Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Salt City Racing Update, live forecast, whatever you want to call it, right, everybody?
Yeah.
Kyler, are you with us?
I am. How you guys doing?
How's everything in the beautiful city of Dodge City?
It's cloudy today, but I think the rain's gonna miss us. Unfortunately, I wish I'd take a little bit right now.
Okay. Well, as I always say, it smells like money out there, right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's
All
what
right.
we
So hey,
do.
let's kick the show off here a little bit. Of course, once and all, we got to thank all. We got our sponsors up on the list, and we couldn't do this without everybody. But let's kick off Mike in the track prep and. Kyler, I'm going to tell you, you worked your butt off over there, and Mike and everybody did that in prepping that track and stuff. I'm going to tell you, I had several people tell me that was the best track they'd seen in 20 years from that part. So I think we got a little room to work yet to make it better, right?
Yeah, I think there's always room for improvement, but yeah, it looks good.
Anyway, Nick, what did you think of the track?
Man, I thought it was great. I was really nervous about it, just given its history and, how sandy it is over there. And, I was really sweating the tires, in some of those later features. But, man, I'm going to tell you what, I don't think I've ever been over there and seen a 20 lap sprint car race where it did not hurt a set of rear tires. I mean, they could have hosed them off and bolted them on and run them the next night. And, the same with the IMCA tires. I mean, just didn't hurt a single tire one. And I just don't know that I remember a time when I've ever seen that.
Anyway, Tom Ehrlich, thank you for joining. And Kyle Weens can confirm it was racy. Yeah, it was. We're going to show, we've got some clips of the races we're going to talk about here in a little bit and show some of the racing and stuff that went on out there from that part. But, I went down after every feature race and I looked at every feature tire coming off the race cars. They were hot. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
But I didn't see one tire that was chunked, blistered, burn up, or nothing on that standpoint running 20 laps. And I tell you, as long as your sprint cars were in there, Kyler, that last little stretch, I thought, oh, in trouble. But they weren't. They were great.
Nope, and they were all ecstatic about it too. And I'm telling you, I mean, they said that was probably one of the funnest races they've done there too. So the drivers even said it.
Yep. So anyway, let's get moving through these sponsors. We'll click back over again. Murphy Tractor and Equipment. Those gentlemen have, man, if out there equipment stuff, we couldn't have done it. You know what I mean?
No.
Curtis and Dan over at Murphy Tractor and Equipment there in Park City. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much. John Richardson, Richard Brothers Constructions, thank you for everything over there. Ox Construction, yes, we got a wall panel put in, don't we, gentlemen?
We got one with about a 3x3 hole in it.
That's all right. So ready to talk to Mike earlier this week, and he's getting ready geared up to get a panel put up. That part, Hampel, of course, throwing out some oil, some fuel to us. Phoenix Recovery, part of the record business we have there in Hutchinson, to come over to help us. We didn't use him very much, Kyler, but I'm glad we didn't have to use him very much. How about that?
No, we were all night long. Everything went pretty smooth.
Yeah, Kansas BG, going again, the great partnership we have with Mel Hamilton Ford from that part. Construction rental, we had those lights put up, and we didn't light that one light in the pits until it was all over, but that's okay too.
Man, them things were bright.
They were cool. Kyler, you're all excited about those, weren't you?
Well, yeah, and it was cool because you couldn't hear them running. They're a big battery pack, and all of a sudden they just kicked on. It ran long enough to charge the battery, and then it was off again. So I'm telling you, if you guys need any lights to light up anything, get a hold of Construction Rental because those things are slick.
Anyway, and then also AgriCenter. My God, did they save my body a lot of leg work running
Oh,
around
man.
too. With the side-by-sides, Kyler, I think you and I burnt them things up pretty hard, but thank you for that too. Senior Electric keeping the lights on. Cody was there all evening with us, making that happen. Of course, Evans Construction is helping Andale Concrete and Ox Construction with the walls. United Rentals, man, without that water truck.
Oh, man.
I was getting a little nervous there
Me
about
too.
3 o'clock, Kyler. Were you?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that part. So anyway, and then Can Equip with that big old case tractor out there. Mike said that was the best packing tractor he's had in a long time to pack the track from that part. So anyway, now what are we going to do to get Kyler back up here better instead of this little dinky Kyler?
Hey, you don't have to worry about that. I'm fine.
There.
Oh boy, there it is.
There he is.
There it is.
In living color.
Anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you that first of all, let's thank all the spectators that showed up. Can't thank everybody enough for everything they came to support and go. I can't wait for May 24th to get going. But anyway, everybody that came to race, the pit crews, everybody Can't thank everybody, the spectators that showed up. I had so many comments on my text and my Facebook page and stuff like that, and people calling me after the race from that part. So again, a great, fantastic deal. And then Kyler, I'm going to roll to your people. Kyler, you've built a heck of a team out there at Dodge City and bring all those crew to us to help us. Your team is second to none. They've kicked in everywhere they could. Always asking for help, always asking what they could do, whatever to help. And I tell you, without your crew, Kyler, we'd have been in trouble, buddy. So
100%.
thank you again for your crew, and thank you for you for everything you're doing to get this going. Great partnership we have, and I can't wait for May 24th to kick everything off again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, we're excited too.
So again, thank you, fans that showed up. Let's get a bigger crowd there on May 24th, and of course, in June and July with everything coming. That's what we need. We need the crowds in the seats so we can prove to the fair board that hey, this was the right thing to do, to vote to let us race, and we got to keep this crowd in there and everything else from that part. Now, do we have some things we're going to work on to get better? Of course. Kyler, sound system. You're going to help me with that, right?
Yeah, we are going to put a sound system in there that's going to just rock everybody's socks. It's key. You know, I always say racing ain't just the whole thing. The whole show is the announcers and the crowd's interaction, and we're going to try to build that fan experience even with a better sound system, and we're just going to try to improve wherever we can.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very disappointed in that wireless mics on the stage when we were trying to do the national anthem and everything, but let's get another sound system in there that's going to help us make that experience so much better from that part. Next thing is, cars getting on off the track. We got that one gate back there. It does make it a little bit difficult. We'll get some more organization on that and have a better drivers meeting and talk about what we're going to do there. I'm trying to think what else we've kind of talked about on improving and stuff.
But I will say that it got better. Towards the end of the night on that, everybody kind of got the feel for it. And I knew we were going to be a little hectic starting out, but it did get better. So hopefully we can fine tune that and just make it a lot smoother.
And the receiver was another issue that we had.
We're just got to change the channels. What we're going to do, right?
What?
You have to change the channel.
Well, those were just little things. Like I said, half the guys were listening to me, half the guys weren't, and yeah, we'll figure that out. I don't know what the deal was there per se, but we'll get it figured out.
Casey Joe said it went away after when she started the feature. She didn't hear anything after the feature started. So we'll figure it out. I think we just got to change the channel, what we're using, and experiment with that a little bit before we race it on May 24th to make that happen too. So just a lot of little things, but I'm going to tell you overall, I thought the event was fantastic. I thought things went very well. Just can't wait for May 24th to kick it off again.
Either.
And have some more fun with it and everything else too. What I will say, I was a little tired Saturday morning, whether you believe that or not.
Yeah,
I was pooped.
Yeah, Jake and I were going to head to go to Hayes a race, and I tell you what, I was so thankful it got rained out.
You hate to see any race get rained out, but we were tired.
So
I tell you, I didn't sleep very well Thursday night because I was so nervous, and then I didn't sleep very well Friday night because I was so pumped and I just couldn't go to sleep. So,
Anyway, I'm going to go through the chat line here real quick. And Cameron, I understand what you're saying. And Cameron, here's what I want to tell you: we are accepting card only because we have to go back to this fair board with provable, honest, and prove that this is how many people walk through that gate. Because I'm on a head count, and if I put so many people in stands, I pay more for the more people I put in those stands. I have to have an honest head count. I want to go back to that fair board in October and say, here's how many people walk through that gate, and here's what we're doing. So here's the amount of people that got scanned, and here's the money in the bank. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's truthful, it's honest, and this is the best way that I can do this. So I hope you understand why we're doing what we're doing. Is it's to prove to this fair board that X amount of people walk through and X amount of money is sitting in the bank to prove exactly what we're doing, because we're under scrutiny. We're on, like I told the drivers meeting, we're on stage. Everybody's watching what we're doing, how we're acting, what we're doing, but also the crowd is how many people come through that gate. And I want to go back to the fair board, not with an if, not with a guess, or we think that's how many people sitting in the stands, Cameron. We have to do this, and I hope everybody's understanding that for us at Salt City Racing, how we want to go back to the fair board with provable electronic versions of stuff to say, this is what's happened. Here's so many people walked through the gate. Here's how many pit passes we sold and everything else like that too. So Cameron, please help us with that. I'm going to tell everybody too, we had a little bit of a hiccup getting people in. We're going to work on that. We've already called My Race Pass and working on things there. But also the people that bought, we sold over 600 and some online. those people just got to the gate, walked right in, and off they went. So a lot of excitement there from that part for making it very easy to get in there, Cameron. So I hope you understand, Cameron, why we're doing that and what's happening there. What's Kyle Ween's got to say?
Would love to come out and support Dodge once we make the full transition. Thanks to that crew for all their support.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyle, we'd love to have you. Yeah. Yep.
Bart says, pay some money to the drivers and get a good car count.
Well, Bart, I'll tell you this, guys. First off, Dodge City and Salt City, we pay the highest IMCA person in the state of Kansas.
100%.
Facts. We can do better on specials. I don't know that we can. I mean, we're already paying top dollar and good start money. So feel free to give us a call, Robert, and we'll kind of show you what we're paying these guys, because it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Bart, I tell you, I think our pay schedule is. I've even had people call me from Kansas City want to come bring their stock cars, and they're calling me to ask about if their cars are legal enough to come race with us and stuff too for our pay that we have. I think the car count, I wanted 60 cars to show up Friday night, and we got 65. So I think that's a blessing for how many cars we got. I think there's a lot of drivers still wondering how the track was going to be, because I'm going to tell you, if I was a racer and I just raced there last July, I'm not sure that I would have been excited to come, not knowing what that racetrack was going to do, because I burned up a lot of people burned up a lot of rubber last July on that racetrack. So I think now that we see we've got a good track, I think a lot of racers will come.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we get to the next race, and I'm optimistic that we're going to have more, because I mean, there's not any reason for anybody that was there the other night not to go back and tell all their racing buddies that didn't come how great it was. So,
yep. Kyle Ween's got another good comment there too. We're going off the eyes of the test of the GM said it was half full when it's darn near full. So that's exactly what we got to do, everybody. I hope everybody's understanding what we're trying to do. We're trying to save a racetrack. We're trying to race more than once a year at this racetrack. We got so many things to go on forward for the years forward if we get this thing for a 3-year or 5-year contract and stuff too, from that part. Anyway, Cameron had such a great time last night. Hey, glad you did. I understand. Thank you for that. Be able to show up at shows and support all the season. Keep going, guys. Cameron, thanks for your support.
Thank you so much.
Jimmy Brozak, what's Jimmy got on his mind?
He says, good job, guys. Pay was awesome, even for a mid-pack guy. Show was awesome. Track was really good. Thanks for all you guys do.
Jimmy, thanks for driving down from Dodge. We appreciate that very much. It's not really Dodge. He lives where does he?
He lives in Spearville, I think.
No, not Spearville. It's drawing a blank. It's about an hour out of Dodge.
Sanford.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Stafford.
So Jimmy, thanks for coming, Stafford. John, what's John's on John's mind?
For hobby stock pay, I'll run at Hutch over Salina any day.
Hey, John, welcome. Thanks for coming. Can't wait for May 24th. Jeremy, what's on Jeremy's mind?
I'm a race fan, and never have I complained about how I have to pay to get in.
Well, I get it. So everyone, Cameron, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you asking the questions so we can help you understand and explain what we're doing. What's going on with Ryan?
Definitely had a great time on the track. Just sucks the way it ended for me. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan.
Bad deal.
Hey, I hate to tell you, my race team kind of sorry too. We got to run a heat race.
We left.
And we lost a motor. So.
We left with a broken crankshaft.
Yeah, so Team 3J was sitting on the sidelines for the feature. And let me tell you, when that feature was going, I can't tell you how bad I wanted to see my race car on the racetrack. So I get it. Brandon Miller, great job, guy. Hey, Brandon, thanks for being there and support and everything else too. So hopefully I leave the wall alone next time.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, please do. We got a few panels spared up there, but we'll keep John. We don't want to keep Mike very busy from Ox Materials putting those walls up, right, guys?
That's right.
So. Okay, so a lot of chat line coming in, a lot of people joining on. So thanks for all the comments and stuff. I think the next thing is what I'd love to do. Everybody, we kind of put a quick video together of the features. Me and Gus, our IT guy, got together and kind of slapped a little bit together. I'd like to put that up there, guys, and just talk about what's going on with what's happening there. You know what I'm saying?
Said that's what you get for running a Ford motor. That was a Chevy.
Yeah, Jeremy hates to say that was a Chevrolet. I've yet to have a Ford motor sitting in that Team 3J. So, but that was a Chevrolet that busted that crankshaft from that part. The worst part about it is it went all the whole race and the car was looking good till the end. Went to turn 2 and locked up. That was it. So, anyway, Nick and Charles Dean. Hey, okay. So let's you gonna play the video.
Yeah, let's
Kyle,
play.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, do I got to hit start played?
I think it's going.
Burkhart, your front two.
Okay, so here's a stock car.
William
First
Nusser
feature.
and Mike Petersilly. Row at number 2 is green
And,
flag is up in the air.
Kind of went
Down the front
took the
straightaway
first
they
lap
go.
and
It's going
second
to be a
lap. I
drag
tell you,
race.
this
Tate's
is
going to stab the brake, trying to get to
pretty
the
cool
bottom of the
start.
racetrack.
Couple double
Up the
wides
racetrack
in there.
goes Scott Miller. Tate now
And I
back
don't
to
know
the
if we got the
inside.
pass
Side
or
by
not
side
yet.
battle for the race
Burkhart
lead.
taking for the
Down
pass
the
for
back
the lead.
straightaway, most of the field 2 by 2 off into 3 and 4.
And
New
then here.
race leader it is.
So I guess what I was really trying to show
Taylor
most of these deals is
Burkhart
just kind of
showing
the
way. See if it can stick out of turn number 4 as here comes
how the
Taylor
racing really
Burkhart.
was for somebody that
Burkhart
maybe
going to
didn't get
power
to
his
get
way
there,
to the
whatever.
front of the
This is
pack.
courtesy
Meanwhile,
of,
side by side, further
Racing
on
Dirt
back,
and being live there and stuff too
crisscross
from that
action.
part. So I
Here
just
comes
kind of did like the
Troy
first
Burkhart,
lap.
the
And
gentle
as you
giant,
see, they're kind
gonna
of too
nudge his
wide
way
through
to the
there.
inside of William Nusser down
And
for
I tell you,
fourth.
when you get the sprint cars
Side
out there in
by
just a second,
side
show
for
some of
1
that
and
too.
2. You
So
got Troy Burkhart on the bottom
from
of
that
the
part
track
too.
as cars start to make their way and jockey for position down the back straightaway and off into 3 and 4. Here comes Troy
Anyway,
Burkhart.
so
Not so gentle. He's going to shove Nusser up the track out of 3
Gus
and
took
4.
our background volume away.
Need it up just a little bit, Gus. It's a little bit too quiet. So, yeah. I guess maybe I did a couple laps on the stock cars. Maybe I did.
Try that.
Okay.
We had a 4 wide salute.
Not too bad. I kind of put that in there too. Oh, so it went through its. Okay, it went through the. That's what Gus put a little blip of our logo through each one of the features from that part. Yeah, the volume's too low. You can't even hardly hear it. Got a little more?
A little more.
Okay, so we're going to get fired off here and stuff. And there's one pass, and I know there was a lot of great passes Saturday and Friday night, and there's several of them I didn't get to see or whatever, but there's one in this little segment here that I thought was pretty. I was worried what was going to happen to Jeremy Campbell. He stuck it in there, too. Oh, yeah, Jeremy, that explains a Ford guy driving a Chevy motor just can't handle the power. Yeah, well, there was plenty of power. It just didn't live very long. That's
Plenty
for
of
sure.
power, yeah.
Yeah.
Broke a crank because it was a Chevy motor. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
A
Let's see.
feature
I don't
action
remember where I
underway
put
for
this
the
in
United
here or
Rebel Sprint
whatever.
Car
Kyle, you
Series
guys
presented by
did a great job
RacingDirt.com
with
off
these
the 1
guys.
and 2.
Yeah.
Taylor Velasquez going to battle
Double.
off with Steven Richardson off
Yeah,
of the
I
1
heard
and 2.
that there was
as
three
Jeremy Hughes
wide
gets the
going
ball
on
over
into
the
two.
marbles and loses some
I guess I
position
missed
down the
that.
back
Did you catch that,
straightaway.
Kyler?
Meanwhile, Brian
Well,
Herbert
I'll tell you
will take
what,
that third position
to hold
away from
had Jeremy Campbell
Hughes
stick
down
that
to
high
3
sun
and
like
4.
that, we
Taylor
had a great
Velasquez gonna lead
racetrack.
lap
He's
number
still
1
on the
here
high
at
side.
Yeah, look at him.
Saltcity
He's right up
Racing.
there against the fence.
Down the
Well, and I heard too, it's about 20 years since someone's going to have to go put a shovel on the wall and knock the dirt off. So I can tell you, here's that pass. I got a little bit too late, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I started a little bit too late, but that was a great pass coming from Jeremy coming around that outside from that part. So
Kind of a funny story. My safety guys were freaking out a little bit
At
because they forgot to
Hutchinson,
put
the
the
half
scrapers
mile.
in for the wall.
Taylor
They didn't think we'd need
Velasquez
them.
is going to pick up the 4th victory of the season.
I didn't either, but you know, here we are.
Different winner goes to Taylor
Anyway,
Velasquez with the United Rebel Sprint Car
how do you
Series.
say? I can't pronounce his last name. The sprint car winner,
Taylor
Velasquez?
Velasquez.
Yeah, so he's a great ambassador for your.
Oh
sport
man,
there.
just a great guy. Great
Yeah,
guy.
I didn't want to do this, but I had to.
And
He
the
got up on the
driver
wing and stuff, and
is
so I had to put that little
downstairs
clip in there
with
too, him
Kelby
jumping up there
Fetters.
and stuff.
Yeah, he did a great job. I went down and talked to those guys for a little bit after the races were over and gave them their deal. And
See him checking that tire, and there was nothing wrong with that tire, so that was great.
You know,
Great
guys, I got to point this out. This is such a family deal with racing. To have my son announcing on the infield like that, that's a pretty cool thing. You know, I interviewed Taylor on that front straightaway years back too, and it's kind of neat to see Kelby kind of stepping in those shoes.
You know, it is. It's fun for you to watch your kids go to that, isn't it, Kyler?
Yeah, it sure is.
Taylor Velasquez.
Now, the worst part, I wish I could hear the crowd.
He's
going to
do the wing
went
dance.
crazy with him.
Salt City Raceway.
But he was
Let him
hands
hear ya.
down. He kind of put a whooping on him. Sure, you know what I mean?
he was good.
Send it back downstairs with Kelby
I like what he
Fetters.
says here, Nick. So turn that up just a little bit.
Well, Taylor, you had a great start there. Them last restarts.
Gus, can we get some more
you a little
volume?
Nervous knowing you had Herbert,
Yes.
Richardson, Campbell behind you.
Oh, yeah, it's you can't make no.
Can we get some more
mistakes in the
volume
field,
on?
and,
It's
just
high as
maybe
go.
start
Okay.
things
Well,
a
anyway, I
little
wanted him to
rougher
hear
there
that
for him. I
video,
knew we had a good
hear what
solid
he had to
flat
say in
tire
the
on there.
interview. But basically, he's
Car
thanking the
wasn't running
fans for
hot.
being there, and basically saying, "I
think
hope
we
this
learned
sticks
a lot
around because he
tonight.
wants to
We tried
race some
some new
more here
stuff, and we just-
at Salt City."
We
So
won the Hutch Nationals of 2020, and we've struggled every year
maybe
since that. So
I just don't think we can
we
hear
did
it in our
everything
headset.
opposite from what we've been doing, and
Okay.
man, I just
all right, we just can't hear him in our
thank
headsets.
everybody
So,
for being here tonight,
but anyway,
supporting us,
congratulations
Dale
to him
Hamilton
and
Ford, Tyler Fetters, the
that sort of stuff.
URSS,
And I like I said, I
Saltcity
went down and checked
Raceway,
all the. We put
still,
4 through tech. And
it's,
that's the other thing. I don't
got
think we had anybody fail tech anywhere in any of the
some
classes, did we?
great things here, and
No,
I
we
hope
didn't.
see
There
as
was
much
like
as,
I heard there was one car that was light in the heat race,
Well,
but
ladies
that
and
was it.
gentlemen, give it up for Taylor
Okay,
Velasquez.
so very glad for that. I told everybody to be a little bit lenient, but of course, Super Dave was there. So
Can't really be that lenient.
yeah, okay. So here we go with the hobbies. This was a pretty good race too. Cody Williams and what's the 24 car's name? Look at that, almost 4 wide coming down the front straightaway. So, I think I left this in because I think we had to do a restart on this again and restart it again. But I wanted to show that 4 wide restart. Yeah, the 24 car.
Yeah,
there.
Dylan Richards, man, he's pretty good. He was chasing old Cody down.
Yeah, it was a good last couple laps and everything else from that part. So on those guys,
Dylan came all the way from Beatrice.
Really?
Yep.
I guess he must have got the long tow haul record, huh?
I don't know. I didn't look and see who came the farthest.
We'll have to check that out too once again. So
I kind of felt like that was me.
yeah, I get that too.
You know, there was a car in the stock car class that signed in from Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Well, I guess he gets the long haul tow from that part. But this was a fun race to watch. I stood up on the stage and watched this one, and Dylan and Cody kind of went around back and forth each other. And look at Dylan, he's on the high side there going through there. That was pretty cool. But Cody Williams, he's got it dialed in, doesn't he?
He sure does.
So
he's got something figured out.
We should have had Super Dave really tech him over, huh? Just teasing Cody. I hope you're watching stuff, buddy. But Cody did a pretty good job there, and Dylan, he tried his butt off to get there. He got close a couple times in the feature, but just didn't quite get it finished off from that part. And yeah, here's the last lap pass. He's right there. You know, and I give that credit to Dylan. I mean, he could have just drove into Cody and spun him out too, but boy, he sure did. I commend him for that, for the great driving on that side of the coin.
Yeah, Dylan was really good getting down there into one, and
Cody drove him off there.
Yeah, Cody seemed like he could get through 3 and 4 a little bit better, so they were just kind of dead even.
Yeah. Dalton says, John LaSalle, you could have won. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, good race there for the hobby stocks. And I know those guys didn't burn no tires off.
No.
All right, up next, the B mods, right? And there's Mr. Brozak on the front pole. And, of course, this is one of the classes. We have a couple transition cars in there to race there from that part. And talked to a couple of the racers this week that they're coming the 24th. They didn't know about the transition rules and stuff, so I've got a few other racers that have called and talked to me on the B mods that want to come race. Even got a couple USRA B mods that are going to come and run with the A mods. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Put a few more cars there too.
And, you know, April's a tough month, guys. You got a lot of school happenings in April. You know, people getting ready for graduations, and April's just a tough time to pull good car counts anywhere.
Yeah,
100%.
And Warren, he does a good job here. I think he led the rest of the race, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe he did. Warren was pretty good. It's just need to see how far up the racetrack those guys can race.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to tell you too. Again, it's getting the confidence in yourself, but the confidence in the track and knowing it's going to be there and stuff from that part. And again, Kyler was on the phone with Mike today. Nick and I were on the phone with Mike today, talking about what we're going to do, how we're going to move forward, and what to do to keep prepping that track. And we know a few things to do better for next time from that stuff too. For anyway, Tyler Heath came from last to third. Transfer was still hot when I got home at 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, get it.
I bet.
Kyle Weens, if any driver wants in a car perspective of how the track looked, Alex has his car posted on the Weens Racing YouTube page.
That would be cool to check out. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. Peyton Burkhart ran real good. Yeah, that's another thing. He had a B mod and ran with the A mods. Peyton Burkhart won his heat race. Then came back and ran very perspective. I think he finished 5th or 6th, I think, in the feature. So Peyton Burkhart, great job here too. And here comes the A mods coming out. And of course, Dakota Pearl was just he kind of had everybody handed.
He was the class of the field.
He redrew pretty good.
He did. He couldn't have redrew any better.
So anyway, Kyler, the next thing we're getting ready to kind of watch this a little bit. Qualifying, I let it off. I didn't want to, but I'm glad we did. You made the right call, everybody, not doing any qualifying. That's for sure.
You started to scare me there for a minute.
I do want to do that, though. I want to qualify from that part. But again, next time we race, we'll be on a points average deal. So, Mr. Sproul, you'll start 10th. Casey Joe will start 9th. That's if they finish their heat races, too. So,
yeah, we'll have to see how that shakes out.
See how that shakes out and everything is on the 24th. I know Casey Joe's excited to come back. She sent me a big old long text how pumped she was. She should be. She did a great job driving all the way to 2nd from that part. So a great race there for her in her new car and stuff too. So.
And Troy, he had a great race in the 721 until he had to pull off.
Yeah, I went over to the pits afterwards. They don't know what happened to that motor or something. They thought ignition maybe went out of it too. But I was kind of wondering what was. They talked about in the heat race how he was they didn't charge anything for the mosquito spraying for the weekend.
Right.
He was smoking pretty good. I don't know what.
Yeah, I think it was a valve cover that was leaking.
Valve cover leaking, getting on the headers and stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so something happened. They thought the ignition went out of that car or something on that part. So anyway, the A-Mods put on a good race. Congratulations to Dakota Sproul on the victory. But he kind of, they have 2 cautions, I think, or something. But he still stayed right up there and made it happen in that part. So everybody, again, thanks to all the racers that came out and raced and everything else too. It was a great race, great fun, and all that too. And I think that's the end of it. Although this is the last lap when Sproul takes the win. But he did. Dakota had to feel pretty well handed down. Had a pretty good lead there on Casey Joe, and in that part. So
car looked real good.
Yep. So anyway, everybody, there's the video. There's little clips of that. Of course, you can always jump over to Racing Dirt and see the whole video and everything there from that part. From that standpoint too. So anything else happened in the chat line? No, we're pretty good there on that part. So Kyler, you had a nice visit with Mike today. We did too. What did Mike kind of tell you about the track and everything else too?
He was pleased. Like I said, that was it took a lot of water. I think we put 120,000 gallons of water on Friday. I put on 100 and some thousands gallon of water leading up to it. I mean, we put a lot of water on that racetrack. Now we've got a race on it. We've got a base set. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and I think we were looking at the weather forecast on Thursday, and it looked like it was going to rain there Thursday night, and then it ended up not raining. So we might kind of prep Thursday night for that rain to hit, and it didn't. So that kind of put us a little bit behind the 8 ball on the water.
Yeah, or at least didn't really. What did come down really didn't amount to what we thought it would.
Yeah, enough to do anything with that part from that standpoint too. So anyway, we're going to improve on I think everybody's just going to get better from your crew, Kyler. I mean, again, I can't thank you and your crew enough for everything you did for this race, putting it on. We've talked about different things we're going to make better. I just can't wait for May 24th to see how much better we can get it. Let's look at our car count next time. I hope we can get more than 65 cars, and everybody now the racers can see that we got us a racetrack. It's going to work. It's going to hold. And just like you said, Kyler, it's going to get better.
Yeah. Got a good base to it. And like I said, Mike and I have got a game plan. We're going to bring a pick next time, kind of help smooth out some things and help water where we need to. It's going to be great. I have no doubt that it's going to be a great racetrack.
So what you're saying is we need to get our shovels ready for the walls, what you're saying.
Yeah. The safety team was a little freaked out that they didn't have their scrapers.
We're going to have to go to the Home Depot and buy us some big old metal shovels.
So, no, that was unexpected for sure, but it was great.
Yeah. So anyway, big birthday cake. Oh, yeah, it's your birthday, isn't it? Jeremy Kane's birthday on the May 24th. So, Kyler, you got his cupcake ready?
I thought his birthday was last week. We can't trust anything Jeremy's saying at this point. Jeremy, go home. Go to bed. Get off of here.
Get off of Facebook.
Get off of Facebook, buddy. We're banning you.
Yeah, a couple more comments coming in. What do we got there from Dallas? Oh, talking about Peyton Burkhart. Yeah, Dallas. Peyton Burkhart drove a great race. He did a good job.
Oh.
I think he was pretty pumped at the end of the night. What's John and Sal got?
There were more people in the stand than I've seen at any track around here for a while. Yeah,
I agree.
it was good.
Agree with that too. So we'll keep moving forward, keep things happening. We'll keep trying to make improvements on it. Kyler and I and Nick will keep digging as hard as we can for everybody. Racers, thank you for coming. Fans, thank you for coming. All of our sponsors, again, thank you for everything you're doing to make this racetrack go. And just like today, I was down at the Wichita Crime Commission, and everybody that I ran into, guess what they wanted to know about the racetrack. So it was good to feel that, and everybody's excited and pumped for that part too. So I will work on the entrance on the tickets, getting people in, but I'm still telling everybody jump online and buy your tickets.
You know,
So
I heard from several people. They bought their tickets online and they waited less than 3 minutes. They went right up to the lady, they scanned them, and they were in the door.
Yep.
So,
That's the way to do it.
I mean, just get online and get them beforehand.
Get them beforehand, save the time, save the wait, and everything else too. Plus, hopefully we can get more people in the stands and pack that stands even harder for May 24th. Just to show this fair board, they voted 100%. They did. They voted 13-0 to race, and let's keep proving to them that's what we're going to do. Okay. What else, Kyler? You got any closing comments? Anything whatsoever?
No, I'm going to go start watering my little track and get ready for Friday night.
So what's happening Friday night at Dodge City?
So we're having our DCRP micro shootout. You got to have micros from all over the area come out, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna do the 4 classes of micros, and then do a couple flat cart classes. So, you know, that's our future. Little track's our future, and it's a lot of fun.
I agree with that. Little track is your future. It is what brings everybody up through the track and stuff too. So excited for that. So Kyler, have a great Friday night. Not racing anywhere Saturday.
No Saturday. We're going to do some arena football here in Dodge City.
Arena football.
Arena football.
Are you playing?
No, they didn't get me drafted in time. But I think I could do all right on the line. I'm pretty sure of
it. Not much going to get past you, right?
No. We need to tell Dr. Phillips here in Dodge that I need let's do a campaign. Fetters on the line that's for the DC.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything that everybody's done. And just huge thank you to the crowd that showed up. Thank you, racers that showed up. Let's get a few more racers to show up next time at May 24th. Let's get those stands packed full. Buy your tickets online. Go to My Race Pass or go to saltcityllc.com and get your tickets bought early in advance. From that part, so we can save that check-in line and everything else like that too. Like I said, we're working with My Race Pass to try to make that a little more smooth and stuff. And they wanted to hear the inputs too, what we did and stuff too. So once again, our sponsors up on the deal, Mike Van Genderen. Mike, can't thank you enough for everything you've done to help us. And I tell you, what really surprised about Mike is just anytime you pick up the phone, he's there.
Yeah,
he's there to help you do whatever, Kyle. It's not like that about Mike, Tyler.
Yeah, he's definitely just a phone call away, and I'm glad that he's staying in touch with us even on the off weeks of racing. It's going to be a good partnership there.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment, can't thank those guys enough. Curtis and Dan over there at Park City, and got their big nights coming up July 19th and 20th for their customers and stuff too. Of course, May 24th is Zener night from that part. So Richard Brothers Construction, John and Ross Richardson, thank you again for the big green John Deere that Josh gets to drive around.
Josh was driving it around.
Yeah. So we might have to go out and Sheetsville a little bit next week or something too. We'll see how things are and that sort of stuff too. Mike from Ox Construction and Andale Equipment and Evans Building Construction help us with the walls. Hampa Oil for some fuel. Phoenix Recovery coming out with another record. And like I said, I'm glad we didn't have to use him very much. BG Products, a great partnership we have with those guys at BG. Concrete Construction Rentals out of Salina, but they're moving to Hutch. That's why they're trying to participate. That big telehandler. Kyler, did you drive that telehandler to the lunch one day? I think you did, didn't you?
I've got about 20 hours on that telehandler. I did take the water truck to Taco John's a couple times last week.
Yeah, so Construction Rental, thank you. AgriCenter, thank you for the side-by-sides and, of course, the side-by-side that we're sharing for the EMT and fire between Dodge and Hutch. Zener Electric, thanks for powering up the lights. And, yeah, we got we got to talk to the flagman. He has some greens and yellows on at the same time. I don't know if we need to flip that switch differently, what it is, or have Zena wires up a different switch, Kyler. But I'm sure I would mess that up too. I'd have all 3 lights on at one time.
Right.
So we need to talk about that too. United Rentals, the water trucks, and I've talked to those guys again this week. Told them, hey, this heat of the summer, we're going to need a couple trucks, and they're going to do everything they can to get us a couple trucks. And of course, Sep over at Can Equip bringing out that big. Kyler, did you get on that case tractor too?
I did not. I'm gonna get on that though. That's a big piece of equipment.
Yeah, I get it. It is. It's fun to have. So hopefully that Can Equip still got that one or something like that to bring it back, because that was a great packing truck from that part. Any last couple comments coming up there?
Dean Kester, great job, guys. Way to keep the track open and the commitment to running it.
You know,
Welcome, Dean.
Dean's definitely no slouch to knowing how a big half mile takes too. You know, he runs that Stockton deal, and those are 2 great. I mean, Stockton and Hutch, those are 2 great half mile tracks that hopefully can stay in Kansas for a long time.
Well, we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. So
100%.
So everybody, hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the great comments. Keep the comments coming. We'd love to hear from you on anything you got up your sleeve, ideas or whatever to make things better. Again, May 24th can't come quick enough for me. I'm excited to go. Tyler, big time Friday night with your small track. And Salina, Kansas. Salina Raceway opens up for their first race Friday night. Team 3J will be there. Racing Salina, so we'll see how Salina is. And Chuck Fairchild, thanks for opening that track, not opening, keeping the track open, keeping that going, so we keep racing going live here in Kansas all over, right?
That's right.
Any last comments or anything, Kyler?
Nope. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Kyler, thanks again. Appreciate it, everybody, from that standpoint. So everybody have a great. What's John say? Thanks for having bad ass behind your house, Phil. Oh, yeah, I do have some bass out behind my house. You're over there stealing my fish I'm feeding, aren't you, John? So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again, everybody that came and supported the track, racers to fans, to everybody. Everybody have a great Wednesday evening. We'll be back live next Wednesday at 6 o'clock with any updates from that part. And also, don't forget Underhood Live Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Who knows? We'll probably be talking about some racing then too again,
Most likely.
So anyway, Kyler, again, thank you. Have a great evening. Everybody have a great evening. We'll talk to you
next week.
Next week.
Thank you.